A long time ago, people wanted to build the biggest, fastest, and most luxurious ship ever. This ship was called the Titanic. In the early 1900s, ocean travel was the main way people moved between Europe and America. Ships carried not only wealthy travelers, but also immigrants looking for a new life. Competition among shipping companies was fierce, and each one wanted to have the best and most impressive ship. One of these companies was the White Star Line, which was owned by a businessman named J. Bruce Ismay. He wanted his company to be the leader in ocean travel. Instead of focusing only on speed, like some of his competitors, he had a different idea. He wanted to build the biggest and most luxurious ship in the world. It would be so large and grand that passengers would feel like they were in a floating palace. It would have elegant dining rooms, a grand staircase, and even a swimming pool, which was rare on ships at the time. To make this idea a reality, Ismay worked with William Peary, the chairman of Harland and Wolff, a famous shipbuilding company in Belfast, Ireland. Together they planned a new class of ships that would be bigger and more advanced than anything ever built. The Titanic was one of 3 ships in this new class, along with the Olympic and Britannic. These ships were designed to be the most comfortable way to cross the Atlantic Ocean, and the Titanic would be the grandest of them all. The goal was to create a ship that would attract wealthy travelers who wanted luxury and comfort, as well as ordinary people who needed a safe and reliable way to travel. The Titanic was not just a ship, it was a symbol of progress, engineering, and the future of ocean travel. Many believed it would be the greatest achievement in shipbuilding history. The construction was one of the most challenging projects of its time. Building such a massive ship required thousands of skilled workers, engineers, and designers. Over 15,000 men worked at Harland and Wolff, the shipbuilding company in Belfast, Ireland, where the Titanic was built. These workers included riveters, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, and steel workers, all playing important roles in assembling the ship. They worked long hours in difficult conditions, using heavy tools to shape and fasten the Titanic's steel frame. One of the key figures behind the Titanic's construction was Thomas Andrews, the ship's chief designer. As a naval architect, he oversaw the entire building process, making sure every part of the ship was constructed properly. Andrews was known for walking through the shipyard daily, inspecting the work and talking to the men building it. He wanted to make sure the Titanic was not only strong, but also beautiful and comfortable for passengers. Workers had to carefully lift and attach heavy steel pieces, using massive cranes and wooden scaffolding to build the ship's structure. The Titanic was built with over 3 million rivets, which acted like giant screws, holding together large steel plates. Riveters, one of the most important jobs in shipbuilding, had to hammer in each rivet by hand, a dangerous and exhausting task. Sparks would fly as red-hot rivets were driven into place, and many workers risked injury while assembling the ship's hull. The Titanic's engines were some of the most powerful ever made at the time. The ship had 2 giant steam engines and an additional steam turbine, which together created over 46,000 horsepower. These engines powered 3 huge propellers that pushed the ship through the water at speeds of up to 24 miles per hour. Hundreds of men called stokers worked deep inside the ship's boiler rooms, shoveling tons of coal every day to keep the engines running. Every detail of the Titanic was carefully planned, from the grand staircase to the elegant dining rooms and comfortable cabins. Skilled craftsmen built wood-paneled walls, chandeliers, and stained glass windows, making the ship feel like a luxury hotel. Even the third-class areas, though simpler, were designed to be more comfortable than most other ships of the time. The Titanic was a masterpiece of engineering and craftsmanship, built by thousands of hardworking people who took great pride in their work. After years of hard work, the Titanic was finally ready to set sail. It left the shipyard in Belfast on April 2, 1912, and was tested in the water before its first official trip. People were amazed by its size and beauty. It was one of the greatest ships ever built, a symbol of human invention and skill.